Question number 1. A group of 6 friends baked a total of 5 dozen muffins. They divide the muffins equally. This equation can be used to find the number of muffins each friend received. And that's 5 times 12 divided by 6 equals 10. Okay. Write a number in each section of the strip diagram to represent the equation. And the first part would be the 5 times 12, so you have 12 5 times. And then the second part right there would represent, because 12 times 5 is 60, and 60 divided by 6 is 10, so there'd be 10, each friend would get 10 cookies. Because 60 divided by 6 would be 10. Question number 2. Says Sal has 315 pieces of candy. He has 3 times as many pieces as Joey. Write a multiplication equation that can be used to find J, the number of pieces of candy Joey has. So if I was going to write a multiplication for Joey, that would be Joey, or J, times 3 equals 315. That's a multiplication equation that represents what Joey has. So whatever Joey has, you multiply that by 3, that equals 315. And I wrote that in the wrong spot. That actually goes, erase that. That goes up here. So J times 3 equals 315. Okay. The second part is write a related division equation that can be used to find J, the number of pieces of candy Joey has. And that would be, just having trouble here today, 315 divided by 3 equals what Joey has. And pretty good with my division facts. That looks like J equals 105, because I know 105 times 3 would be 315. Question number 3 says, Carol baked chocolate chip cookies and oatmeal cookies for the school picnic. She baked 124 cookies altogether. There are 18 more chocolate chip cookies than oatmeal cookies. Carol created a strip diagram to represent the cookies. Okay, and if you look at the strip diagram, you have the oatmeal cookies right here, and then you have the chocolate chip cookies right here. It looks like she maybe made more chocolate chip cookies, and that's what it says. She made 18 more chocolate chip cookies than she did oatmeal cookies. And it says, what is the missing value on Carol's strip diagram? And that would be the 18. Okay, and we could go ahead and figure how many chocolate chip cookies there are. We'll figure the oatmeal and chocolate chip. So what I would do, if I was trying to do that, I'd take the 124 right there and I'd subtract 18 from it. Minus 18. So that becomes a 1, and that's 14. And 8 from 14 is 6. 1 from 1 is 0. And then 0 from that. So, and what I did right there is I basically took this part out right here. I took this part of the equation out. I took that part out. And now both these parts together is going to be 106. Are going to be 106. So, and you see that both those sections right there are the same. So all I need to do is divide 106 by 2. Okay, divide 106 by 2, and I'll do that over here. 106 divided by 2. Okay, 2 goes into 10 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. Bring down the 6, and 2 goes into 6 3 times. So that's telling me there's 53 oatmeal cookies. And this section of the chocolate chips is 53 too. So if I add 53 and 18, plus 18, that's going to tell me how many chocolate chips there are. And that's 11, 5, 6, 7. So it looks like there's 71 chocolate chip cookies. So there's 71. The CC equals 71, and the oatmeal equals the 53 right there. And we'll just double check to make sure by adding 71 plus 53. And that should give us our 124. So 3 and 1 is 4, and 5 and 7 is 12, so 124. That works. Question number 4. Okay, on question number 4. Okay, the Sluggo Bat Company makes baseball bats from different types of wood. The table below shows the prices of the bats. Okay, and if you look at it, an oak bat's $86, maple bat is $78, ash bat is $55, and a bamboo bat's $63. So, slide it on down here. It says, Coach Vega ordered 30 bats for the team. He ordered 7 oak bats, 7 maple bats, and 12 ash bats, and some bamboo bats. Write an equation that can be used to find B, the number of bamboo bats Coach Vega ordered. Okay, and the equation would look sort of like this. We take the 30 bats. He ordered a total of 30 bats. Okay, and what we do is we subtract the 7 oak bats plus the 7 maple bats plus the 12 ash bats, and that would equal the bamboo bats. Okay, so how many bamboo bats has Coach Vega ordered? We just add 7 plus 7 plus 12, and that looks like, I'll put 7 and 7 together, that's 14, and then put 12, so that looks like 26. So there's 26 of the other bats, so you subtract 30 from, or 26 from 30, and that gives us 4. So that means 4 of the bats with bamboo. 4 bamboo bats. 4 bamboo bats. Okay, question number 5. Complete the strip diagram to represent D, the difference in the total amount Coach Vega spent for oak bats and maple bats. So, looks like you ordered the same amount of both. He ordered 7 of both. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the oak bats were a little bit more expensive. I'll scroll up here and see. The oak bats were $76, or $86, I'm sorry. $86. That looks more like a 5. $86. And the maple bats are $78. So each one of these should say 86. I'm going to put ditto marks. And each one of these should be 78. So what we're trying to figure out right here is the difference in that. And that's kind of gives you a visual representation of what the difference is going to look like. But to figure out exactly what it is, we'll take 86 and multiply it by 7. So 86 times 7. 6 times 7 is 42. And then 7 times 8 is 56. Plus 4 would be 60. So you spent $602 on the oak bats. And to go ahead and figure out the maple bats, I just multiply 78 times 7. 78 times 7. 7 times 8 is 56. 7 times 7 is 49. And 49 plus 5 is 54. So that means he spent $546 on the maple bats. To figure out what the difference is, I just subtract those two. So 602 minus 546, I'll put that up here, 546. So when I subtract, I'm going to have to regroup across the 0 right there, so that'd be a 5. That becomes a 10. I regroup that, that'll become a 9. And that becomes 12. 6 from 12 is 6. 4 from 9 is 5. And 5 from 5 is 0. So the difference is $56. is the difference that he spent between the difference he spent on oak bats and maple bats. Go ahead and look at the guided practice. Question number 1 says, Jazzy sells her old bike for $104 and some toys for $68. She uses the money to pay for 4 months of karate lessons. The cost of the lessons are the same each month. Which strip diagram shows Jazzy's cost for 1 month of karate lessons? And we'd look at what she did. We'll box in our question. It says, try to figure out which one of these strip diagrams represents the cost of her karate lessons. And the cost of her karate lessons, first she sold her bike for $104 and some other toys for $68. So we're going to look at one of the strip diagrams that show that. Okay, the first one right there is just showing the total amount, $104. That's just her bike. And same thing on B. And if we look at answer choice C and D, they have 104 and 68, 104 and 68. Or no, it says 104 and 43. So we can eliminate that one because she made $68 when she sold her toys, 104 when she sold her bike. So the right answer is C. If you add 104 and 68, and then you divided it by the karate lessons, 4 karate lessons, you would get 43. Okay, question number 2. Okay, it says, Joy baked 2 pizzas and cut each pizza into 8 pieces. Or 8 slices, I'm sorry. Okay, Joy and her brother ate all but 4 slices of pizza. Which equation can be used to find S, the number of slices Joy and her brother ate? So, okay, if we're looking at that one right there, it's, we'll go ahead and box in our question. Okay, and the question, read it again, says, which equation can be used to find S, the number of slices Joy and her brother ate? Okay, so first I'm going to look for one that's talking about the pizza, and there's 2 pizzas, and each pizza had 8 slices. That sounds like 8 times 2. So I'm looking at this answer choice. I have 8 times 2, and this one I have 8 times 2. The other ones, I don't see 8 times 2. One of them says, at answer choice F says 8 times 4. That doesn't sound right. And the second answer choice H has 8 plus 2, and that's not going to be right. So I think I can pretty much eliminate these 2 answer choices off the bat. And on the answer choice G, it has 8 times 2 plus 4. And 8 times 2 is the total amount of pizzas there are. It sounds like there's going to be 16 pieces of pizza, and they left 4 pieces. So I wouldn't add 4 to that. I think I'm probably going to have to, that's not going to work. That's going to be too many pieces of pizza. So if I look at answer choice J, so answer choice J is 8 times 2 equals 16, and that equals the same thing as the amount of pieces that they ate plus 4. So whatever they ate plus 4 would be how many pieces of pizza were left. And that would be pretty easy. This side of the equation we already said equals 16. So we need to make this side of the equation equal 16. So really, the amount of pieces they ate plus 4 would be what the right side of the equation should read. So in order to figure that, I just take 16, subtract 4 from it, and that gives you 12. So we know that S equals 12. So 12 plus 4 equals 16. That way both sides of the equation equals the same thing. Answer choice is J. Okay, question number 3. Okay, the Salas family drove a total of 612 miles in 4 days. They drove equal distance on each of the first 3 days, and on the 4th day the family drove 180 miles. Which diagram shows the number of miles the family drove on each of the 4 days? So, if we look at that right there, okay, it's shown that one day they drove 180 miles, and the other days have to, that plus the other days have to equal 612. But go ahead and box in our question. So we're trying to figure out which one of these diagrams represents their trip. Okay, so the total distance on that trip was 612 miles. So we know we can't be answer choice B, because they didn't drive 612 miles for 3 days and then 181 day. And, and right there, answer choice C, we have 612 right here and 180 for 3 days. And that doesn't work, because that's going to be more than 612. And if we look at answer choice D, it's saying that right here they drove 180 miles 3 days, and one day they drove 144. And that doesn't really seem right, because in the equation this says they only drove one day 180 miles. So A is going to be our right answer choice right there. And if we wanted to, if we had some time, we could double check it by adding these up and see whichever one of these equals 612 would be our right answer. Okay. Go ahead and look at question number 4. Okay, it says, which of the following word problems can be solved by using the equation below? And the equation is 130 times 4 plus 26 plus 14 equals n. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and just look at the first part of the problem right there. And the first part of it, the first thing that you need needs to be in the problem is 130 times 4. So I'll read the first problem. It says, Joy spent a total of $130 for 4 trees. So if he spent $130 for 4 trees, that sounds like a division problem to me. If he spent a total of 130 for 4 trees, that doesn't really work. Okay, G. Joey bought 4 trees for $130 each. Okay, that sounds like that might work. That sounds like a multiplication problem right there. Okay. Okay, he bought bushes for $26 and $14. Okay, find in the total amount Joey spent for trees. And so plus 26 and plus 14. That looks pretty good. I'm going to put a question mark right there. Okay, let's look at answer choice H. Joey spent a total of $130 for 4 trees. And right there, that's a division problem. And that doesn't work for us. So we can eliminate that one. And question J. Joey bought 4 trees for $130 each. That works. A bush for $26. Okay, a bush for $26. That works so far. Okay. He used a coupon for $14 off his total purchase. So that 14 sounds like a subtraction right there, but we're looking at adding 14. So that one, actually down here, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong problem. So this one right here doesn't work. It doesn't work because it was talking about a subtraction problem right there, and we're looking at adding another 14. So it looks like answer choice G is our correct answer. And question number 5. Okay, and we're going to make a little quick change to this question, because I kind of looked at it and it didn't really work out. So instead of trying to figure out that one right here, we're going to find out, okay, Mr. Guerreras. Okay, we're going to try to find out the number in Mr. Guerrero's class. Okay, question number 5. says Mr. Guerrero and Mrs. Faber have a total of 45 students in their class. There are 3 more students in Mrs. Faber's class than Mr. Guerrero's class. This diagram represents the number of students in the 2 classes. So, what we're going to try to do is figure out which equation can be used to find the number of students in Mr. Guerrero's class. And the first one right there says 45 minus 3 divided by 2 equals 21. And that looks really close right here to what I need to do. Because what I do is I go ahead and take away this part of the equation right here. That means these 2 parts together would equal the same, which basically means if I divide it by 2 is going to tell me how many students is in Mr. G's class. So I'm going to put a question mark right there, my first answer choice. Okay, 45 plus 3 times 2, and it has 96 as an answer. 96 doesn't make any sense because that's more than the total amount of students in both classes. Okay, right here, answer choice C, I have 45 minus 3 times 2, okay, equals 42. And 42 sounds like way too many students because they have close to same amount, and that really doesn't work. As a matter of fact, that equation doesn't work out at all because 45 minus 3 would be 42, and if you multiplied 42 times 2, you'd end up with 80-something. So that equation doesn't really even work. Okay, we already eliminated the second one. And the last equation is 45 plus 3, and then you divide it by 2 equals 24, and that equation doesn't work either, so our correct answer choice is A.